The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show, April 7th and 8th, benefiting the UNM Children's Hospital, Popejoy Hall, and Anderson School of Management. See exhibitors feature windows, doors, kitchen, bath, sunroom, stucco. The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show at Dreamstyle Arena, The Pit.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks, Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
I want to congratulate our first customers at our brand new facility right here at Gala Chevrolet, the Jose's. And how was your experience?
It was awesome and great.
What'd you end up buying?
We bought a 2018 Chevy Silverado.
And how would you say the experience was overall?
I bought all my cars here at Gala Chevrolet, and we couldn't wait for the new facility open, and all the people really treated us well.
Well, on behalf of Gala Chevrolet, we say thank you, and we'll see you soon right here at Gala Chevrolet.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Guess what? It's once again a Cage Minds takeover of Red Menace TV. Welcome in. No, on all serious note, it just wasn't the same when I tried to sit next to Leroy last week. So after the show, we formed the Red Menace search party to go look for Michael Carlisle. And we have unfortunately not heard from Leroy Lucero since then. But don't worry, we're kind of used to just having me here, right? You know, that's what we're doing. So this is the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. We have a ton to talk about this week, from the UFC, LFA, Glory, the American Fight League, Invicta, and much more. So we're going to start out right now with some highlights to talk about this past weekend's events. We had LFA 36 Access TV this past Friday night. They were in Los Angeles, California. All of these highlights are courtesy of Access TV. So Alden, let's get rolling to that first fight. We got some great highlights. Right there in the white shorts, you have Andre Ewell, and in the black is Trent Mao. This fight made on just days' notice. Right hand over the top from Ewell. Stuns Mao, that left head kick. Now the follow-up flurry. Mao, some good defense up, it laxed up, and there is the knockout with the right uppercut. Ewell taking advantage, again, on days' notice of an opportunity to get on national TV, picks up a huge victory with the right uppercut. The right uppercut would be a story of this event. Keep that in mind as we head to this next highlight. It's a quick one. Christian Aguilera in the gray. That's Ricardo Seixas in the black. Ricardo's a grappler. He kind of was ducking his head, and he did it repeatedly. I couldn't find repeated highlights, but there was a picture-perfect right uppercut to the temple, lights out. Christian Aguilera, I had the opportunity to interview him prior to that LFA fight, and that is his third fight in 2018. Yes, we're just in March. 3-0 in 3 months. He said maybe he can go 12-0 this year, get a fight each month. He's ranked in the Access TV top 5 and could possibly become the first title challenger to James Nakashima. Impressive victory again for Christian Aguilera. We're going to go up to the co-main event now, where Jamal Emmers in the gray is taking on Hilo Ferreira in the black. A striking battle for most of the fight. Great feints and fakes were being thrown by Emmers, confusing Ferreira, eventually opening up that right cross. Emmers gets the finish. This was a huge victory because it was his 4th in a row. Not to mention, Emmers needed a finish because the UFC had criticized him specifically, the UFC, as he's in the LFA, for not getting finishes. He had beat 3 guys that are now in the UFC. Hopefully with that TKO victory, Emmers will get the call to the big show. A huge win inside of the LFA cage. And now we head up to the bantamweight title fight. You're going to have Ricky Simone in the red. In the red and black is Vinicius Zani. A double left hook. That first one was actually blocked by the elbow. The second one clipped the temple. Simone goes nuts with the flurry. Here it is. First one's blocked, the left hook. The second one right to the temple. That's the shot that set up the vicious finish with those right hands. Ricky Simone defends the LFA bantamweight title. And what is he rewarded with? A UFC contract, a spectacular finish, and next time we'll see Simone, it will be inside of the UFC. A tremendous addition to that 135-pound division. LFA on Friday night got to showcase a whole lot of what they do, showing the generation of talent that's coming up the ranks. Now we have some Invicta FC highlights to go to from Saturday night. The women showcased on UFC Fight Pass, Invicta FC 28, the first time the promotion had visited Salt Lake City. And we got some stoppages for you and even a little bit of blood. Let's get to that first one, Alden. We have right there the ladies getting to the ring. And you're going to see Cal Schwartz dominating in the clinch right here. Vicious body blows, that right hand over the top. Just before the suplex, not pictured, was a right elbow that opened up the cut. A vicious suplex and a ground and pound finish. One of the better finishes that we had throughout what was a dominant grappling affair for most of the Invicta card. We have one big TKO knockout to show you. It's from UFC vet Milana Dudieva, who was in the black, who was taking on Karina Bars in the gray. And you have that right cross, the follow-up TKO, ending a 4-fight losing streak. Some precision striking showcased right there. Now we can head to a quick highlight of the main event, where we have a new strawweight champion. The title was vacant. You had Brazil's Joana Jandiroba against Mizuki there in the red, and it was the jiu-jitsu player doing what she does, showcasing those phenomenal grappling skills, takedowns, getting on top. To Mizuki's resolve, she would withstand the onslaught for all 5 rounds, but Jandiroba, I think I said it a little bit better that second time, is the new Invicta FC strawweight champion. She improves her record to 13-0. So even though it was a UFC-less weekend, it was still an exciting weekend in the mixed martial arts world. Now, that was really what we had to look forward to last weekend on the big scale. Now, as we look towards this weekend, we do have another exciting event taking place in Los Angeles this weekend. Glory Kickboxing, the world's top kickboxing organization, will be in LA. The UFC Fight Pass Super Fight Series, that is a tongueful, starts off the night. Again, on UFC Fight Pass, the main event will see Pavel Zurl against UFC legacy and glory vet Myron Dennis. You've seen him also on the Tough series. That's on UFC Fight Pass. Then on ESPN 3. Go back to the glory slide. Yeah, still talking about glory kickboxing. And actually, we're going to get to that main event. The main event, right there, you see Kevin Van Nostrand and Roman Van Roosmalen. It's going to be unifying the glory featherweight title. Van Nostrand, a more traditional, unorthodox martial artist who uses spectacular kicks. The New Yorker, who is the interim champion, will be looking to unify that against Dutch kickboxing stylist Roman Van Roosmalen. Van Roosmalen has a mauling style where he throws combinations of hooks, ends them with devastating low kicks. The card is also featuring American Zach Wells as a huge underdog, taking on former Glory welterweight champion Simon Marcus, and then also UFC vet Chris Camozzi taking on Michael Laramie in what is sure to be a brawl. So this weekend on the big scene, you can tune in for some kickboxing, that main card on ESPN 3 and to be shown later on ESPN 2. Again, that event is in Los Angeles. So that's what we have for you on the national scene. There's some kickboxing action. You can get some striking entertainment this weekend. And when we get back, we're going to talk about what's coming up on the local scene. Even though we already gave you a little bit of teaser a moment ago, we're going to talk about American Fight League Southwest Brawl 7 when we get back.
And flags are going to fly here. And wide open, making the catch and standing the end zone is Dello Davis. Well, what's going to be the call? Is this going to be a tough? And it's returnable. Edwards makes a move and another move to the outside. Uh-oh, look out. He puts on the Jets in a 50-yard.
Down the first base side. Oh, what a play turned in by Jackson. Great play by Jackson.
Dello Davis are in motion. Dello Davis going to get the carry out of motion. And look out, here comes Dello Davis. He's through. Davis all the way.
Got a little bit of breeze out towards right field. That's hitting the gap to right center field. Right fielder coming on. What a great catch turned in by Schober.
There's Wichita, the kick. Here's Bray. A little stutter. Look out. Antonio Bray's got to move to the outside, and it's all wheels from there. He's going to take it.
Runner's going to go.
Oh, here he's going. Watch out
Here
at
comes
home.
the play at the plate. Throws in time. Got it.
Out. Them the day that Parker's pitching.
That's lifted back this way. The catcher
Rendon.
Rendon coming back and
What
makes
a
a catch.
catch.
Great catch by Rendon. Up the middle. They're waving him around. It gets by. Here comes a winning run. Connor Langwell scores a winning run off the bat of Garrett Langwell. Clovis is going to win it 3-2. RBI single for Garrett Langwell, Tom.
Right next to him. Bray gets the carry. What a spin move. And look out. He puts on the Jets. Antonio Bray. One for the highlights.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering, Let us bring our kitchen to you.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts. Like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service. And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time. Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all, or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Hey, New Mexico, come check out the newly remodeled guest rooms at the new Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center, featuring 309 rooms, 30,000 square feet of meeting space. New Mexico's only indoor water park featuring the Wave Runner. 2,200 square foot fitness center with hydro massage chairs. Also enjoy breakfast at our new Manzanita Grill and watch your favorite team play at Altitude Sports Bar and Grill. It's all at Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
You're back with Cage Minds. It's time to talk about what's going on the local scene this weekend. And just for a heads up, American Fight League Southwest Brawl 7 in Las Cruces at the Las Cruces Convention Center. You know, the best view is to be there live and in person and come join us to support a good cause. I'll tell you about that good cause in a moment. But if you can't be there live, I will be streaming the event on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page, and you will get the pleasure of commentary from yours truly. Now, we also have an article up at cageminds.com about how Southwest Brawl 7 is about more than just a fight. Referee Joel Ojeda, known as the bearded ref to us fans and fighters and people that are there constantly locally at the local combat sports event, his young daughter Mia is battling cancer. So, Team Mia, we're all supporting Joel Ojeda and his family in this fight against cancer. There are t-shirts for sale. They will be for sale at the event, and also they are on sale. You can find the link on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News page, as we'll be resharing the article with it. And if you can't, just get out there and support. This little girl's already went through surgery, had this fight with cancer. You can get out and send the money and support, or come out locally, join us at the event, which is going to be a stacked card. I mean, a ton of talent. From the main event, that's seeing Geraldo Chapa from Juarez, Mexico, coming up to take on 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu's Andy Varela in a 155-pound main event. The co-main event has Jacoby Ortiz, Tucson, Arizona's own, a Big Show vet who's fought for EFM Fight Night's World Series of Fighting, and Bellator MMA is going to be taking on Red Spider MMA, La Cruz's own Randy McCarty. Randy returning to action for the first time in a year after having torn his Achilles. That was a devastating injury, and it's tremendous to see the remarkable quick comeback that Randy has been able to accomplish. The pro card is rounded out by the pro debut of Wangandara, who's going to be taking on Stephen Ojeda, the brother of Joel Ojeda, obviously the uncle of Mia. Again, that fight against cancer. We have Wangandara, an interview with him up at CageMinds.com, talking about this upcoming pro debut. An 11-fight amateur card headlined by Nathaniel Gomez against Ricky Maynez. Now, when you're at CageMinds.com or you go to Cage Minds MMA show on YouTube, have too many pages, getting confused on them. You can get some great interviews that we had leading up to this event. We have CJ Boston, Cody Davidsworth, and also Richard Jennings, all talking about their upcoming fights. Now, we'd like to introduce you to a young man, Aiden Brotherton, who's also going to be on the card, but we were able to catch up with him here locally at the Jackson Wink Academy. Aiden has picked up his life from San Marcos, Texas, and moved to the Jackson Wink Academy in pursuit of his mixed martial arts dreams. So let's go to that interview and hear Aiden talk about his upcoming fight at Southwest Brawl 7. Southwest Brawl 7 is March 31st. We're at the Jackson Wink Academy to talk with Aiden Brotherton. How you doing, sir?
I'm living the dream. How about you?
I'm doing all right. So first off, this is going to be an amateur fight. Tell us your amateur record.
I'm 2-0 in MMA. I'm happy to get my third fight on the way, and I also have some boxing, kickboxing fights, and done some jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff as well. So I'm just happy to continue my MMA career.
And from San Marcos, Texas, you had said?
Yes, sir. San Marcos, Texas.
So from San Marcos, Texas, how are we here talking at the Jackson Wink Academy?
I pretty much I love the sport, so I picked all my stuff up and moved out to Albuquerque to continue my career. I know that's one of the top gyms in the world. I would consider it the best gym in the world, so I figured to be the best, you gotta train with the best.
When did you start martial arts?
At about 13 years ago, I was 7. So. And I haven't really stopped much since. I've taken a couple breaks from injuries, but I've been pretty much continuously training.
What was that first martial art you got into?
I started Kung Fu as my first martial art, and my first sport martial art was boxing.
How did you get into Kung Fu?
My father actually got me in Kung Fu. We trained at the same place, so at a very young age I was already realized that it was useful to be interested in. It was a fun sport, and it keeps you healthy, keeps you happy, so I immediately fell in love with it.
What's that like, sharing that bond, you and your father?
I would say that's definitely an advantage, because I'm sure a lot of people, their family looks at them crazy, like, you want to do what? But I pretty much had support throughout my career, which has been very beneficial.
How'd you transfer over to boxing?
I wanted physical contact. I wanted to be... in Kung Fu, we did point sparring stuff where it was half contact, and I wanted to fully hit someone in the face, and I knew that from a young age, so I wanted full contact.
What was amateur boxing like?
Amateur boxing was a very good start for me. I had a lot of fun. I had a 2-time world champion, IBA champion boxing coach, Manny Cepeda, and we had a lot of good Golden Gloves guys I was fighting with, and just from 14, 15 years old, I was already fighting with grown men and sparring and getting to know what it's actually like to get hit in the face and actually be in a fight. So it's a very good experience for me. It's helped my MMA a lot.
When did MMA come into the thought process, come into your perspective?
Probably by the time I was about 16, I realized that I used to want to be a boxing champion, but I realized that it's very one-dimensional, so I started looking to move on to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and picked up some kickboxing and some other martial arts that would just help me with the all-around game.
So how long do you feel you've been studying MMA?
I think a good 5 years I've been doing MMA. So, with all the intentions to be in the UFC, and I would like to be a world champion someday, and just want to continue this my whole life. I plan on coaching when I'm done fighting, so it's my life.
Tell us about passion. Tell us about your drive for the sport.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's just, I love it because I have a lot of built up energy that the mixed martial arts just helps me. It's like a form of meditation to me. I get all my energy out, and I have something to focus on, and I have something that I can have a goal for the end of the week, the end of the month, and there's always something that you can continuously learn. There's always something you continuously improve on, so it's just never-ending fun.
Do you have a vision of the kind of fighter you want to become?
Not necessarily. I just want to be completely adaptable and well-rounded in all areas. I don't have anyone specific I want to look like or anything. I want to be myself and just the best version of myself. So.
Are there people, though, that you look at, compared to your frame or your weight class or your style, your background, that you do pull some parts from? Not fully, but
Yes. I like John Jones. I like Stephen Thompson, Carlos Condit, Conor McGregor. I like lanky strikers that very technical styles where they put combos together.
I didn't know if it was going to be unfair to bring up Stephen Thompson and Michael Page, considering you said, point kung fu starting, and I'm like, I've heard of a couple other guys that kind of started off that way. Have you had any inspiration from kind of seeing those guys cross over?
Yes, definitely. I could tell that the style, there's people that made the style work for them and they adapted to MMA, but things like Lyoto Machida, Stephen Thompson, like all those guys I grew up watching, and it was inspirational to see that I could use that type of style and make it work in the cage.
Talking about that you came here to what you feel is the best gym in the world to train, what was that like stepping in here the first day?
It was very nerve-wracking. I remember that when I walked in, it was a very busy time there was a lot of people in camps. John Jones is getting ready for Cormier his first time, and there was, it was just full of talent, and there's cameras everywhere. There's people that I've been watching my entire life on TV, and now I'm in the same room as them, training with them. So it was a very surreal moment, but now I feel completely comfortable and at home here, and that's an even odder feeling that something that was so weird at first has become my normal day-to-day life.
You step in the cage March 31st. What improvements are you looking to showcase in your game?
I don't think there's any specific part of my game. I think that I've completely well-rounded in my game. I've been working with very good wrestlers, working on my jiu-jitsu, working my striking, of course, and just I want to be completely well-rounded and plan to showcase that I've changed from just striking predominantly to I'm learning my other game, and I'm prepared for anything.
Jonathan Green's the opponent. Do you have any knowledge of him?
I actually don't have any knowledge of him, but that's fine with me. I'm just going in there to fight, and I'll adapt as the fight comes. And I don't need to study the guy or be ready for anything specific. I just need to go in there and be ready to fight.
With the bigger goals of UFC world titles in the future, do you have a certain mentality or specific goals for this amateur run?
As an amateur, I want to make sure that there's no gaps in my game, that I completely fix all the little details. I have my basics completely adapt, and I'm ready to go. I want to make sure that when I get to the pro level that I'm not making mistakes I could have made as an amateur, and I'm going to be completely ready for whoever they give me as a professional.
What do the fans need to know when they come to see you in action?
They just need to know that every time I show up, I'm ready to fight. I'm not here to win by points. I'm not here to dance around. Like I come to finish my opponents every fight. I look for a finish. I fight my heart out every time, and I'm ready to put on a show every time.
You've had a lot of amateur experience already, so I'll ask if you can think back to that first boxing match. You remember what was going through your head before it happened?
Yes. I think my very first fight, I was pretty nervous. It was a very weird feeling to have your hands wrapped, have your coaches talking to you, seeing other people coming out of the ring either unconscious or bloody and all the things that can happen in a fight. But nowadays I realize that it's another day in the office, and you just got to go in there with a calm mindset, calm and composed, and be ready for war.
Was it different from the amateur boxing experience, the first amateur MMA fight?
The first amateur MMA experience, I got some of the same feelings. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I knew that I was prepared. I've been putting in work for a very long time, and I work very hard. I pride myself on the fact that I'm willing to push when other people are resting. So I understood that, like, this is mine for the taking. I just have to be ready for it.
What's the best lesson you've learned in those first 2 amateur cage fights?
Be ready for adversity. Like, you have a plan in your head that you think a fight's going to go a certain way, and it doesn't always go the way that you planned it, but you just have to be ready to adapt to it and move on and stay on top.
How can fans follow you on social media?
I have an Instagram that is Aiden Apex they could follow me on, and I post a lot of my fighting stuff that I do here and around wherever I'm training. So yeah, definitely follow me on my Instagram.
People you need to thank and shout out to?
I would just say thank you, Jackson Winklejohn. Thank you, my coaches, all my training partners. Thank you, my family, for supporting me, and everybody that's been a part of the journey. I've trained with a lot of different people that I've learned a lot of different lessons from, so it'll be a long list to say everyone's names, but I'm sure you know who you are, so thank you.
American Fight League presents Southwest Brawl 7, March 31st. We'll see you guys in Las Cruces.
Here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show, April 7th and 8th, benefiting the UNM Children's Hospital, Popejoy Hall, and Anderson School of Management. See exhibitors feature windows, doors, kitchen, bath, sunroom, stucco. The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show at Dreamstyle Arena, The Pit. Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
And we're back. You just got introduced to a up-and-coming young amateur who made the move from Texas to come out here and train at the Jackson Wink Academy. Now we're going to introduce you to a pro who makes the drive constantly from Oklahoma out here to Albuquerque to get some training in. And it's going to be in action next week on Access TV, part of the CES MMA 49 card from Providence, Rhode Island, taking on UFC vet Sean Soriano. Joining us right now is Jonathan Gary. Jonathan, thanks for being here.
And appreciate you, man. Thanks again. Hey, everybody.
Okay, so Oklahoma to Albuquerque, making the trek back and forth. I know the story, but let's enlighten the ProView Network's audience. How did this come to be?
Basically, from when this came to be, me training at Jackson's is when I fought the UFC vet Isaac Valley Flag, which is a former Jackson's, but he's still at Jackson's currently too, pro fighter. And I ended up fighting him at one of the Route 66, the Rumble on Route 66. I ended up fighting him there at the Route 66 casino, and I ended up meeting Mike Winklejohn after that fact, and then he was just like, hey man, I would love for you to come train at the gym. And I was like, I would love to come train at the gym. So I ended up making that drive, which is about a 8.5 to about 7.5 hour drive, depending on how fast you go. It's one of the busiest highways. So yeah, man, I ended up training there, man, and I've been stuck here since, man, and love the 505, every single bit of it.
Tell us about that dedication, making that trek back and forth. We've seen each other. This is like the 6th time you've done that.
Man,
I'm like,
it's crazy.
It feels like a lot. You're like, no, it's just a little drive. It's not Santa Fe to Albuquerque, people. We're talking about Oklahoma, 8-hour drive, and you come out here to do this. You've done this 6 times.
Man, dude.
How do you do this? Tell us about the determination and grow as a martial artist.
Dude, just seeing the guys here in Jackson Wink Gym, man, it gives you so much motivation just to, be at that top tier of athleticism, professionalism, where you want to be at in life, where you want to be at in a fight game. There's so many guys from all over, nations from, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, China, Russia. They're from all over the place, man. So you're getting all these top tier fighters, man, and you got to look at it almost every single day, man. You're sparring, you're in a UFC fight, you're in a Bellator fight. There's nothing but top guys there, so man, that motivation is gonna make you make the drive. All the way over here, 7 hours, 8.5 hours. Some guys, they take flights to go to their camp. So, I'm really lucky that's within driving distance to come all the way from the 405 to the 505.
Now, it's kind of been a win-loss kind of pattern that you've been going through. What's going on right now with you as a martial artist? What do you feel is happening?
I'm still, even though I'm 32, about to turn 33 in this game and everything, man, I've been doing it since, guys were just one-sided like martial artists, like you have a straight taekwondo guy or a straight wrestler or whatever. So, the game is constantly evolving and changing. So right now in this time right now, since I'm somewhat in my prime, I'm still figuring out myself as a mixed martial artist instead of being a one-sided guy. So the win-loss ratio, and stop taking fights, saying on the short notice. Stop doing that, because that could be definitely a big, assumption of that too, So with that being said, actually trying to have a camp, be prepared, because this is not my full-time job. I work as a plumber, I Uber drive. So, I'm constantly always doing something, to help pay for this, help pay for that, help pay for this, help pay for that. So that being said, being more prepared, having set scheduled, having the right camp for the right person, studying the opponent, all that has to correlate. Instead of just like, hey, I have a fight for you. All right, I'll take it. It can't always be like that, even though you always want to be busy and whatnot.
When I met you, though, it was one of those short notice fights. It was Isaac Valley Flag. It was a big opportunity. Not too long ago, Bellator, Cody Pfister. It was a big opportunity.
Right.
Access TV now, CES, Sean Soriano, a big opportunity. How do you cash in on this one?
Man, Sean Soriano, dude. Just from what I studied up on him, man, excellent kickboxer, man, and I also know that he's I think a state wrestling champion out of Rhode Island, also from Providence. So this is going to be in his hometown. He's looking to sell a lot of tickets. He's looking to come up and show, because I think his last fight, I think he lost or won or one of those. So he's looking to bounce back too. So expect Clash of the Titans, man. I'm just going to go in there, stay in his face, put the pressure on him, because I already know he's going to be a better striker. He is a better striker than me. I admit that. I can admit that flaw. But the problem is, once you get hit, that shit goes right out the window. So we're gonna see who's gonna be the better out of that choice. You know what I'm saying? Pressure bust pipes, man. That's what I'm waiting for, and that's what I'm gonna do.
The last fight was a win. It was why I asked you about the leg kicks, because the last fight was a TKO win for Soriano by leg kicks. What do you do to handle something that's his bread and butter? He likes to throw those combinations, and he likes to put emphasis on exclamating them with those leg kicks.
Man, keep the lead leg light, you know what I'm saying? Check those leg kicks and stay in his face. If you stay on his face and you stay out of this kicking range, you'd not be able to adjust those leg kicks, but not take his money out of them, man. You're gonna get hit regardless. This is MMA. This is a fight, you know what I'm saying? If we all wore pads, man, nobody would care. Everybody would be trying to go off in a knockout. But no, these leg kicks, man, are his bread and butter. So with that being said, man, stay in his face. You're gonna eat a couple, not eat as many. Just, man, Nick Diaz's ass, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel you're the better grappler in this matchup?
Yes, especially off the cage. Definitely off the cage, and especially on top. I haven't really seen his bottom game that much. I know he's a very scrambly guy because I've seen his fight against Kawajiri, and I've seen that, man, he was getting out a lot of scrambles, and Kawajiri is a very good grappler from Japan too. So that being said, that was a long time ago, and I think on my top game, I have adjusted very well, and I improved a lot too, especially being on MMA and doing jiu-jitsu and whatnot.
Now, a world traveler. I've heard your story before. We've done plenty of interviews. I want you guys to go back and actually check some of those out so we don't have to get into the full thing. But Jonathan got into martial arts, serving our country, and started his MMA career in Japan. So for this fight, going to Providence, Rhode Island, some would say this is hostile territory, but it can't feel much more foreign than Japan.
Yeah, man, from Japan to Brazil, man, like, those are hostile territories, man. I'm talking about from 5,000 to 10,000 people booing you, getting in. Japan, not so much, because it's a little bit quiet, but if they have a favorite fighter, they're going to really cheer for him, though. But, yeah, hostile territory, man. It's okay. They might think it's their birthday, but I'm that kid that comes to like to piss and to punch, you know? So I like to play spoiler alert.
What does it do, and for your experience level, and just taking that experience fighting in front of 5,000, 10,000 people? Because some people that haven't been to that UFC level haven't experienced that kind of audience.
Yeah, man. It's like getting thrown to the wolves. Except you're like Indiana Jones. You got to come out some way on top. So whatever you can throw in there, man, always make sure you come out on top. It's going to be hostile territory. It's nothing but going to be you and him in there. So, hey, you got to make sure you're that guy that's going to come out on top of that with your hand raised, because once you win, everybody gets hush mouth, man, and nobody's going to say anything. The whole thing is going to be crickets. It's the best feeling in the world.
You told me about not taking fights on short notice and having training camps, but still a busy calendar. I heard there's another trip to Japan in the works already after this fight. So when they ask you, what do you want next, when you win next Friday, you already got a plan. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. Right now, there's a works for July 17th, another Grachan MMA, possibly in Yokosuka. And we don't know if it's going to be in a ring or cage just yet, though, but Yokosuka is where the naval base is. So expect a lot of Navy people to be there, a lot of inter-Japanese people to be there on the inner island. It's gonna be works, man. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm facing a good grappler of Nagaoka. Nagaoka runs the Buita gym out of there at Gold's Gym in Yokosuka. So two Yokosuka guys going against each other, so it's going to be pretty fun. Japan versus USA.
Tell me about your love of the Japanese culture, because there's obviously some that grew from being there for so long.
Dude, the Japanese culture is least to none, man. Like, everybody is so nice. I mean, of course you have bad people everywhere and everything, but Japan, they really respectful of the culture, you know, really try to keep a really clean culture, you know, with everybody, especially raising their children in a certain type of way and everything. And that's why they always grow up to be so smart and successful, though. But everything has in the works to make sure everybody is supported somewhat. You know, in America, you know, not everybody is so much supported, not even from the lower class, middle class, upper class, whatever, though. But in Japan, they always make sure people are supported as long as you're busting your ass. So that is good about that culture, you know.
You're always competing. You're always active. What are you fighting for?
The love of it. The love of it, man. Like, everybody wants to make it to the UFC. Everybody wants to make it to the Bellator, but I mean, only so many people make it to those organizations. Only so many people get that chance. Only so many people actually make that dream come true. This is a sport that's becoming real saturated with a lot of people that want to do it and a lot of people that are born to do it. And if you're not into the wind of this and everything is not into this, man, hey, you might not make it to UFC. You might not make it to Bellator. So if you cash your whole career trying to make it to that and you don't make it, man, you're going to end up like Ronda Rousey. You're going to want to be a WWE person or something, or you're going to be rethinking your life real quick after your first fight. You know, so if you don't love this sport, man, you're shit out of luck. You got to be married to this shit, you know? So that's how it's got to be, and that's the way I look at it, man. I love this, and this is what I like to do, and this is my life.
Tell us about that mental toughness to press through.
Yeah, no matter win, loss, you know, draw, whatever, you know, I take my losses like a man, I take my wins like a champion. You got to press forward. You can't let those things set you back. This is life. And if you're going to let life set you back, how are you going to press forward? You know, no matter how many wins or losses you have, let the organizations, let the promoters and everybody else dictate that. They're going to give you fights regardless. Regardless of your record, whether you're at 50%, below 50%, above 50%, they're going to give you fights regardless. So, hey, it's up to you if you want to make that payday or you want to do it for the love of it, because you're not going to get paid this much to do this. This doesn't make a lot of money, even on your side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You do it because you love this. You do it for the love of the sport. You do it because the sport is constantly growing. You know what I'm saying? If we were like boxing promoters, I mean, man, I'd be probably sitting around gold chains and, you know, looking like Floyd Money Mayweather, you know what I'm saying, with the record I have. Or you be over there like, man, blue suit wearing everything, you know? We
Are you saying
honest.
this isn't loud enough?
I know, I love it. I love it. But, I mean, man, ESPN or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If we were in Boston, because it's more of an established sport, MMA is still a baby compared to everything else. So with that being said, man, if you're in this for the money, if you're in this not to love it or whatever, man, you're not going to go far in this sport. You're not. You're just not. It's plain fact of simple. You've seen it with so many people. Even if you're rich and you try to get into this sport, the money's going to be like, well, I'm getting cracked in my face, but I got millions sitting over here. Well, let me invest myself in something else instead of, you know, getting beat up every time, you know? So. And
you've made the investment to work a bunch of jobs, to do other things, but to still stick with the sport.
Yeah, man, because I love this, man. If I decide today that I was like, I'm not going to fight MMA anymore, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks will go by. It's going to drive me insane, man. I'm going to go crazy. I can't live without it, man. It's hard. So, yeah, you got to love this, man.
CES, MMA, 48, April 6th. How do you pick up the biggest win of your career?
Man, I'm going to go for the finish, man. I'm going to try to get him out second round, TKO.
That's Access TV, April 6th, CES, MMA, 49.
JYD.
Check it out, Junkyard Dog. How do we follow you on social media?
Man, follow me at Junkyard Muay Thai, Instagram. You can follow me at Facebook at Jonathan Gary, Junkyard Dog, or my Twitter at Ground Slam Bully. And I want to also thank you to my sponsors, Sarah Casey Photography, Success Vodka, and I also got MediPuff CBD, which is CBD cotton candy for everybody that has anxiety, whatever, for medicinal purposes. That's what they're there for. So go ahead and check out those sponsors also. And Dome Piece Audio. If you need some headphones, hey, those are the best quality ones I know. So make sure you check out those guys and check out those companies.
More of the Cage Minds takeover of Red Menace TV in just a minute.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Ladera Golf Course. Opened in 1980, Ladera features a full 18 including spacious greens, a large driving range, roomy practice putting greens, and 4 large lakes. Surrounding Ladera, beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains to the east and volcanoes to the west. Ladera is a challenging city-owned course with the longest playing yardage of any other city courses. For weekend tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks, Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
I want to congratulate our first customers at our brand new facility right here at Gala Chevrolet, the Jose's. And how was your experience?
It was awesome and great.
What'd you end up buying?
We bought a 2018 Chevy Silverado.
And how would you say the experience was overall?
I bought all my cars here at Gala Chevrolet, and we couldn't wait for the new facility open, and all the people really treated us well.
Well, on behalf of Gala Chevrolet, we say thank you, and we'll see you soon right here at Gala Chevrolet.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
It's great getting to talk with Jonathan Gary. Always interesting. Again, I implore you guys to go check out the YouTube channel, my own Cage Minds MMA show. Look for more of the Jonathan Gary interviews. A ton of great stuff that we've talked about quite a few times. Move on to that. To UFC news. The UFC made a lot of big announcements last week, and I got a lot of slides to go through with you guys. So first off, Cub Swanson has officially re-signed with the UFC, and he's going to be taking on Frankie Edgar in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night 128 in Atlantic City. This is going to be a big fight. Some may question, is this too quick of a turnaround for Edgar, who I swear it felt like just yesterday got knocked out by a Brian Ortega uppercut. But the doctors have cleared him. Edgar Swanson to the co-main event April 21st. Announced for the main event of UFC Chile. In the welterweight division, Cameron Usman, the tough Nigerian wrestler from the Black Zillions, will take on American top team representative fellow top 10 ranked welterweight Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio, a knockout artist who even stopped the hype train of Gunnar Nelson. We can move on as we have another main event. This one a little blurry, sorry about that, folks. The main event for UFC Fight Night 130 in Liverpool has been announced. Also a top welterweight matchup. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, the karate stylist, taking on vicious Liverpool resident Darren Till, the Brazilian trained Muay Thai striker. The co-main event will see the aforementioned Gunnar Nelson and Neil Magny in another top 15 ranked welterweight matchup. For international action, the UFC is starting to put together some really strong cards. Another announcement, UFC Fight Night 131. Utica, New York has added a women's strawweight bout that will see former WSOF champion Bellator vet Jessica Jag Aguilar, the former #1 ranked 115-pounder in the world, against Jackson Wink's own Jody Escobel, the Invicta FC vet. This one is a matchup of grappler Aguilar versus striker Escobel. a great addition to that UFC Fight Night card. LFA news, the heavyweight title will be on the line April 27th in Minnesota. Jeff Hughes defending against Maurice Green. The co-main event will feature Bevon Lewis, Jackson Wink representative, a Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series vet, top prospect against Charles Hayward in a featured co-main event in the middleweight division. We have more LFA news. LFA 39 has been announced for Valley, Colorado, May 4th, interim middleweight title. Colorado two-time state wrestling champion Ian Heinrich against Brazilian brawler Gabriel Checo, who has a killer submission game. That card also possibly will see Jackson Wing representative Jordan Wright. Also returning to the LFA octagon in the flyweight division, former title challenger Santa Fe's own Jerome Rivera will be taking on Colorado native Brendan Royval. Colorado's own Macy Barber, who has spent time down here at the Jackson Wink Academy, will be taking on Audrey Perkins. Audrey made her professional debut in Santa Fe in the Jackson's MMA series 2 years ago, upsetting Natalie Roy, Santa Fe's own. A great 4-fight card announced for May 4th from LFA. To remind you guys, coming up on April 7th is UFC 223, which will feature Jackson Wink's own Ray Borg against Brandon Moreno. Also want to take a quick moment to offer a big congratulations to the Borg clan as they have welcomed in a new addition, a healthy baby boy. Congratulations to Ray and wife Amanda. Also to remind you guys, coming up, UFC on Fox 29, April 14th, will have Albuquerque's own Carlos Condit in a welterweight matchup with fellow dangerous striker Matt Brown on the main card. A prelim bout that will also pique your attention in the women's division features Michelle Watterson against Courtney Casey. So some things to keep an eye on for these local New Mexico fans to support these fighters. Now we also have local news to talk about, what's going on the local calendar. MMA returns to Hobbs, first time in over 2 years. School of Hard Knocks Promotions on April 21st will present Havoc in Hobbs. The main event, Victor Wardog Hernandez, the Genesis MMA and School of Hard Knocks Gym representative, taking on Derek Rage Perez from Belin's Perez Fighting Systems. In another local announcement, the following weekend, April 28th, Force of One Fighting Championships Art of War in Clovis will take place. So far, I have confirmed that Gene Perez will be taking on Paco Castillo on that card. Chris Cortez, top-ranked flyweight prospect, taking on Jackson Wink's Ben Acosta. Jamie Calloway, also from Force of One, will be taking on independent fighter Brendan Trujillo. We have boxing back in Clovis a couple weeks later. May 12th, School of Hard Knocks presents Chaos in Clovis 2. That event will be headlined by a heavyweight battle between Eligio Senna and Eduardo Silva. If you go to the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page, we caught up with Eduardo prior to the Route 2 Glory weigh-ins, and we got to talk to him about the impending heavyweight matchup. We have some rumors also going on, like a new promotion is going to be debuting here come this summer. Wrecking Crew Promotions is targeting a June date, and they have targeted a huge fight, a huge WBC title fight that they'd like to put on. Now hold your socks together as we hit this next slide. What would you think about seeing Albuquerque's own Brian Labala Mendoza, the 17-0 undefeated fighter, taking on 17-6-2 Josh Pitbull Torres? You just saw Josh in the main event here on Proview Networks. Brian's trainer, Fidel Maldonado, who's associated with the promotion, would like to make that fight happen. We have Holmes Boxing rumored to return to Santa Fe in May. In June, you can see the Jackson Wink Fight Night, possibly Wrecking Crew Promotions, and even a Jackson's MMA series all take place. The summer is heating up and looking to be hot, heavy, and full of mixed martial arts action. Once again, this has been another Cage Minds Takeover. It was great getting to introduce you guys to Aiden Brotherton. Check out Southwest Brawl 7 this weekend. Check out the Cage Minds Combat Sports news page for the live stream of this event. Again, thank you to Jonathan Gary. As always, check out Access TV each Friday night for some great MMA kickboxing action. Hopefully, we'll have a successful search and rescue by Leroy Lucero. And next week, we'll have Leroy and Michael back to join us for more Red Menace TV as it's your regularly scheduled program. Hope you enjoyed Cage Minds this week.